Hi everyone, this is Renee. Today I'll be diving into the topic of provider default and what CRICOS providers need to do when a provider default happens. Provider default is one of the ESOS requirements that all CRICOS providers need to meet. It's an important topic, so let's get started. So what is provider default? Provider default happens when a student hasn't withdrawn their enrollment from their course and the provider either fails to start to provide the course to a student on an agreed starting day or stops providing the course to a student at a location at any time once the course has commenced but hasn't finished it. Now, this could happen due to several reasons, but most of the times I hear providers believe that a provider default only happens when a provider shuts down, either due to their voluntary decision or because of the regulator. But provider default could also happen when the providers decide to simply close down delivery of the course or to not commence the course delivery because of their internal operational decisions, which could be not having enough trainers or low student numbers to start a new batch altogether or insufficiency of other resources. So it could be any of those reasons, and if a student hasn't withdrawn the course or they haven't agreed to this change, this is considered a provider default. So do remember, because around these circumstances, these things, they generally go unnoticed and the providers, they fail to fulfill their obligations. Now, once you have identified that you have defaulted due to any one of these reasons, you need to fulfill your reporting as well as student obligations under the ESOS Act. Your reporting obligations, they kick in quite early within the 3 business days of the default day. During this period, you need to lodge the default notices within the PRISMS and also notify all the impacted students in written of the default. You need to remember your default day. That's important. For you, the default day is the day that you either ceased providing the course or failed to start providing the course at a location to either current or intending students. Once you've lodged the notice in PRISM and informed the students, you need to fulfill your student obligations, which you've got 14 days to do. And it's either or situation. You need to either offer alternative placement to the student without charging student any additional fee, plus taking care of any suitability requirements and the compliance requirements for the new enrollments, or refund the student, which is either 100% of the prepaid tuition fees in case they haven't commenced the course, or unspent tuition fees where they have commenced the course according to the ESOS refund specifications. While you're doing this, you need to remember that you have to keep the evidence of all these arrangements that you make with the students. You need to have evidence in place reflecting you clearly advise student of the default, providing them the offer, next steps, and also providing them the option to choose refund instead of the alternative course placements. You also have to have evidence where student decided what do they want to do, the outcome of their decision, and acceptance with a date stamp. After fulfilling your student obligations, you need to notify the discharge of those obligations within 7 days from the end of this 14-day obligation period. It's very important to do that. If you fail to discharge your obligations, it's a serious offense. Even if the reasoning for you to not fulfill your obligations is the delay from the student's side, it still is considered as that you defaulted and you didn't fulfill your obligations. So even if that happens, you still need to go to the PRISMS and lodge the notice that you haven't been able to fulfill your obligations, indicating the reason for that. If you are unsure about how to enter or record these notices in PRISMS, I would suggest go to the PRISMS user guide, specifically section 4.29, and you'll have all the details here. Hope this helps you in understanding your provider default obligations, and as always, if there are any questions, feel free to get in touch. And now it's time for the Lego. So this is the new Lego minimalistic cement mixer that Summer made last night. It was the last day of his school break. So this has steering mechanism as well, and this cement mixer also moves up and down. So yeah, if you need the cement mixture for your next construction project, let me know. Thanks for watching.